Welcome to Phoenix Podcast, hosted by Amin Moinian, where we deep dive into economics and politics.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be taking a look at the psychology of the left.
Yeah.
Now, this is a
Interesting topic for sure.
very controversial topic.
Yeah.
And I want to say right off the bat that we are not trying to, take sides here or,
Right.
judge anyone or anything like that.
Yeah, no, this is purely for understanding.
Yeah, purely for understanding.
Like, let's try to get inside
Yeah.
the minds of, people who identify with the left and try to understand what makes them tick.
Yeah, and we're going to be using as a basis of our conversation the psychology of the left from the book Industrial Society and Its Future.
Right. Written by Ted Kaczynski.
Written by Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
And so let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
So the argument that Kaczynski makes is that leftists hate anything that they perceive as strong,
Interesting.
successful,
Okay.
good, and inherently good.
Uh-huh.
So, for instance, he gives a couple of examples of this.
Okay.
He talks about the United States,
Yeah.
Western civilization, white males,
Great.
rationalism.
These are all very different things.
Very different things. But according to him, there's this thread that connects all of them.
Okay, so what is that what connects all of them?
Well, he argues that the reasons that leftists give for their hatred are not the true motivations for their hatred.
Interesting.
So, for instance, he'll say, they claim that they hate the United States because of, warfare, imperialism, or whatever. But then he'll point out that, they're not as critical of socialist countries or ancient civilizations that also had warfare.
That also had these kinds of things.
Or they'll say that they hate Western civilization because of sexism or racism, but then they'll downplay sexism and racism when it occurs in,
other parts of the world.
Socialist countries or ancient civilizations or among,
indigenous cultures
or something like that.
Okay.
So he says that the true reason for this hatred is the strength and the success of the West.
Okay.
Particularly the United States.
Right. So he's saying that it's not actually about those issues that they claim to care about.
Yeah.
It's actually about something else.
It's about the power.
It's about the power and the success itself.
Yeah, and he says this also plays out in how leftists view concepts like self-reliance, motivation, optimism.
Okay.
He says that they're
interesting
against those things.
He's saying that leftists are against self-reliance, motivation, and optimism.
Yes.
Okay.
And he says the reason for that is that
why would they be?
They view themselves as losers.
As losers.
And because they view themselves as losers, they hate competition.
Oh.
Because they know that if there's competition, they're going to lose.
They're not going to do well.
So therefore, they hate the idea of self-reliance.
Okay.
They hate the idea of motivation. They hate the idea of optimism.
Because those things lead to success.
Those things lead to success.
And success is bad.
Yeah, they see success as a zero-sum game.
Yeah, if someone else is winning, that means I'm losing.
Exactly. And he says that this plays out in their worldview.
Right.
In many different ways.
Like how?
So, for instance, he says that leftists are anti-individualistic.
Okay.
They favor collectivism. They believe that society as a whole should be responsible for solving problems.
Interesting.
Not individuals.
So they don't like the idea of individual responsibility?
They don't like the idea of individual responsibility.
Okay.
They don't like the idea of individual achievement. They want everyone to be sort of, on the same level.
Equal. Okay.
And so that's why they're always pushing for things like, redistribution of wealth and affirmative action, all this kind of stuff.
To try to level the playing field. Okay.
Because they see any inequality as inherently unfair. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we should strive for equality.
Yeah.
But the question is, what are the best means?
Right. What are the best ways to achieve that? Yeah.
And I think that's where, Kaczynski's argument is interesting because he's saying that leftists are going about it in the wrong way.
They're focused on the wrong things.
Yeah. They're focused on tearing down success.
Yeah.
Instead of
Instead of lifting people up. Interesting.
And that's his basic argument.
I mean, it's a very provocative argument.
It's a very provocative argument.
And I think it's something that's worth thinking about.
It is worth thinking about.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with everything he says.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting perspective.
That's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah, and I think it can help us to understand, some of the things that we see happening in the world today.
Exactly. And, one thing I want to leave our listeners with is this question of, if Kaczynski is right, if this really is a sort of psychological phenomenon, then what are the implications of that?
That's a great question.
What does that mean for our society?
Yeah.
What does that mean for our politics?
What does that mean for the future?
What does that mean for the future?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're really dealing with a large segment of the population that is fundamentally opposed
to success,
to achievement.
To individual achievement.
To individual achievement.
Yeah.
Then where do we go from here?
That's a very unsettling thought.
It is an unsettling thought.
Yeah.
And so I think it's something that we need to really grapple with.
Really need to think about it.
And try to understand.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our deep dive for today.
Yeah.
I hope you found it stimulating.
I did.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.